Did you know that there is a course called Women Who Lead where you get to spend hours with me learning how to make every interaction safe, logical, fun, and memorable? Doesn't that sound like a great way to spend some time? It will put tools in your tool belt that will change your trajectory. Give it a shot. Go to www.aimwithus.com and click on courses. I can't wait to see you there.
Welcome to Productive Joy with Dr. Christie, where fun meets action.
Hi, friends. Welcome to Productive Joy, the recap. I am having so much fun. I know I say it a lot. I mean it every time. Like, I am getting to interview fascinating people and talk to them about how to create more productive joy. And I'm hopeful that every time you listen, you're grabbing a nugget or two that allows you to produce more joy as well. Because I do think that joy is a choice. And I do believe that it is our calling to find ways to produce it and to have something to show for it once we do. That's pretty cool. So this week I interviewed two fabulous women, Monica Malan and Terry Tateossian. You literally say every letter in her last name, which is kind of cool because it's not a short last name. And both of them happen to be from other countries. So Monica is from South Africa and she is still there. And then Terry is from Austria, but she's lived here for a long time. She actually lives in New Jersey. But I'm going to start with Monica. Monica empowers people to live in authenticity. How special is that? I, of course, fell in love with her immediately because that is something I believe in with my whole being. And I wouldn't want anybody to live any other way because I believe when we show up as ourselves, other people can do the same. And we so frequently ask people to paint themselves into a box and be this thing. And in this space, you can be this. And in that space, you can be that, but you can't be this in that space. That's just not true, right? Now, I'm not saying act a fool. I'm not saying be obtrusive or bothersome to others, but I am saying that when we show up as ourselves, really great things can happen. And so she helps women to be themselves in a male-dominated world. Pretty sound stuff right there. And I really liked how she brought some specificity around doing that in the workspace and how you might need to do more of that in your own workspace. So go give it a listen. She's also a lover of puzzles, which is just a fun fact. And then I had Terry. And I had Terry on my wedding anniversary. So June 12th is my wedding anniversary. So let me just give a shout out to my sweet husband, Jason, 26 years and counting. And I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'm more in love with him today than I was even 26 years ago. So happy anniversary, honey. It's a couple days later, but I'm sure I won this particular year. So fun fact, Jason and I on the 12th of every month for the last 26 years have said happy anniversary to each other. And it's a competition. And whoever says it first wins that particular month. I'm pretty sure I'm like 80-20. He's going to argue with me, but he can't because he's not on here right now. Ha! All right. So Terry was great. She had a pretty big life shift around the age of 37 where she realized that she was in really bad health and it was her own doing. She was overweight by about 80 pounds and she decided to get a handle on it. But what I appreciate about Terry's story is that it wasn't just an instant fix. She tried fad diets and every single one of them worked for a while and then failed. And what she realized is that she needed to change her habits and not overall like just stop eating X, right? And so she now coaches people. She actually offered us a free PDF that tells you how to measure your macros, which is super important. If you don't know what that is, that's like measuring how much protein and fat and carbohydrates you're consuming and what the right balance is for you. Everybody has a slightly different one, but it's in whatever your goals are, right? So super cool. That's one of the things she does, but she coaches people and she happens to also coach women. So this was our women's week. Sorry, guys, but I still love you. I just wasn't talking to you this week because that's not who my guests were talking to. But something that she said about productive joy that I really appreciated was a little alliteration. She says it's about purpose, passion, and presence. want you to think about that for a second. When you are being productively joyful or when you are producing joy, you have purpose, passion, and presence. You're currently right where you're supposed to be. You also know why you're there and you're excited to be there. Does your daily work look like that? If it doesn't, why not? Like, what are you doing that brings those three things together? And how do you figure out how to do more of that? We work 90,000 hours of our lives. That is a long dang time. And I am hopeful that you are using it wisely, that you're not miserable at work. The name of this podcast, I know we've talked about it before, but we'll talk about it again. So I have a company, and my motto for my company is if you don't make work fun, people will quit. So when I was going to start a podcast, I thought I could call it Make Work Fun. And then I was like, but it's not just about work. It's about life, right? People quit things that aren't fun. So ChatGPT and I got together and we worked out a plan. And I said, what are some other ways that you can say make work fun? And it came up with productive joy. And I was like, that's it. That's what I want people to have, because productive joy is not solely specific to work. It's creating something that brings you pleasure. I don't want to use the word joy again, but that's what it is, right? Joy is different from happiness in that it is thoughtfully about what you're choosing instead of what's happening to you. Like an ice cream cone can make you happy, but that's fleeting. Joy is a choice that sticks around. So what are you doing to bring more productive joy into your life? And if you can't tell me, what's the problem? What's the roadblock? What's getting in your way? And do you need help getting it out of the way? So that is something that I do for people is I help them individually figure out how to find their productive joy. It's something I also do for companies where we talk about how you make work fun so people don't quit. And that's not just a frivolous thing, y'all. We are in a new pandemic of, I guess it'd be an epidemic. We've got a problem where we are having a whole lot of people who don't stick around in their jobs and they're, fleeting. And so if you don't have the opportunity and the funds to retrain people or to hire new people, then you better get it right the first time. So I can help you with that. And it's a super important piece of the puzzle that often gets ignored. So if you need those things, you can get in touch with me at Christie, CHRISTIE, at aimwithus.com. Or you can find me on any platform with either Dr. Christie McMullen or Productive Joy. So find me, reach out and say, Chrissy, I need more productive joy because my team is quiet quitting on me, or I am not enjoying what I do, or I would like to be doing something different. Let me help, because that's why I'm here. And I'm super excited and honored to get to be. So thank you to our guests this week. Both Terry and Monica were fabulous, and they had really great ideas that I'm hopeful that you are latching on to, because nothing changes if you don't change. So you've got to start doing something differently. What's the one thing going to be? Grab that, hold on to it, and figure out a way to turn fun into action.